All right, good day, people. So we're looking at Onyx Coin, and before we get started, this is not the same Onyx project that's associated with J.P. Morgan. So let's get that out of the way, and this is not financial advice. All right, so right now we got a market cap of 67 million, total supply 48 billion. We got 30 billion already in circulating supply. Okay. Um, we had an all-time high, 18 cent 3 years ago. 1 year ago, all-time low was at 0.007%. Okay, let's take a look at the about. All right, and I'm just going to look at the uniqueness of this project. All right, so it's designed to be a shared multi-asset cryptographic ledger. All right, so let me go ahead and just break that down a little bit. So if you think of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not a multi-asset um, ledger. Although on the blockchain there are multiple types of projects that can be built, such as Ethereum has smart contracts, and then you got Ripple, they doing their thing. Then you have another type of it's sort of similar blockchain, which is HBAR, hash graph technology. That's a whole different. A lot of people think HBAR is a blockchain. It's similar, but it's not. It's hash graph technology. It's actually another form of of ledger, a distributed ledger technology. So a lot of people don't know that. But what am I saying? This project basically is trying to bring everything into one. Then you have interoperability, meaning that it's cohesive, it works together, and you can have multi assets on that particular ledger, which will be the blockchain, right? So Bitcoin is sort of like isolated with, all right, the only asset is Bitcoin for that. So you keep what saying. So Ethereum doesn't really operate on the same ledger as Bitcoin. But on Onyx Coin, you can have HBAR, Bitcoin, um, Ripple, Cardano, Ethereum. But here's even better. You can have Walmart, Amazon, Apple. So these businesses, all right, and financial institutions and governments can build and they can create insurance programs, right? So you can see right here. So you can issue assets by writing custom insurance programs. So let's go ahead and check out what that is basically. So it's a framework that allows a company or organization to issue debt instruments such as bonds in order to raise capital. Now, listen to what I'm saying, guys. This is big. So these companies, they can create these using these writing and customized programs under this particular asset. All right. And then what happens? Once issued, units of the assets are controlled by control programs. Control programs are similar to smart contracts. All right. So here's control programs. So it's software in charge of other software and hardware. Hardware, man. So, for example, the primary control program in a computer is the operating system. It sets the standards, and all application must use the interface with the OS. All right. So that is what they're doing. Okay. With the control programs, and it's similar to smart contracts under what Ethereum is doing. Now, the beauty about what Onyx Coin is that you literally can create, like they're talking about in this white paper, right? All right, look, you can set rules for issuing new units of an asset. So you can put rules in place, what it's for, the value of it, how many you're going to have. All right, so this means that NFTs can be created. That means debt instruments such as You can do derivatives. You can do you can option contracts, um, other types of futures contracts. All these things can be done, right? But it can be done based off the assets that are part of a organization. So if you got something like Marvel, right, they have a big catalog of a lot of iconic characters. You can create units of assets on that. They can be built on a blockchain, have specified rules, have control programs, and that can be sent out and can be interacted with the public, bought, sold, but all that stuff is still recorded, all right, under one blockchain. And it updates and it keeps a log of it all, right? So the white paper is very extensive and it can get techie. I always tell people if you get into when you start looking at these projects, go use Chat GPT and tell it to break it down to you um, as if you was like a 10-year-old, and it will try to simplify it. So you can copy and paste some of this in, like, hey, break this down, help me understand it, right? So look, in the intro, I talked about in this paper, we present Onyx Protocol, a design for a shared multi-asset cryptographic ledger. It supports the coexistence of interoperability of multiple independent networks. Right, so there's a lot of independent networks that's happening right now around us. So with different operators, a shared common format and capabilities. Right, using the principle of least authority, control over assets is separated from control over ledger synchronization. And you probably say, okay, what was all that? Exactly. Copy paste this, put it in Chat GPT and tell them to break it down. And it would do it. All right. I'm not gonna do it on here, but that's your homework. You do it, you gotta do the work. All right. So you do it, just copy, right? Highlight this, copy this, put in, hey, can you break this down to me as if I'm a middle school student that knows nothing about this, so I can understand it? There you go. Just get your answers to the test. Okay. So it's a lot, all right, that it talks about in a white paper. It's 26 pages long. You can go in and you can look at it. But look, here's some of the motivation of why they created this. All right, so you got the modern financial system. Assets such as currency, securities, and derivatives are typically held and traded electronically. The miraculous abstraction hides the true complexity of the system, a messy, decentralized web of mutual obligations, indirect ownership, and periodic settlement. Transferring assets from often requires a point to point interaction between multiple intermediaries and reconciliation of duplicate ledgers. So basically, it's trying to bring everything under one so it can be seamless, transparent, and it can be executed. Now, let me go back and look at where was I looking? All right. So this is an article that was written back in September. Now, when you see Chain, so they did change their name. All right, it was Chain at one point, but now they changed it over to Onyx Core. So that was a rebranded. So if you see the word Chain in the article, don't mind. Still talk about the same project. Now, um, here's some of the problems that it was attempting to fix. So one of the main issues attempts to reduce the market is new user confusion. Right. So the protocol focuses on onboarding in multiple ways. For one, it eliminates technical boundaries via the protocol's click deployment. All right. Um, if anybody use website like Wix, if you're building it, you can click drag. So it's easy, right? And versus if somebody built it in the early 2000s, late 90s, uh, with the HTML coding and all the other stuff you had to do, it was a lot, right? So look, so they said the platform has professionals that work with businesses to help them get their blockchain products off the ground. All right, now listen to this. This is huge when you want to think about blockchain products. All right, so I want you to go back to the earlier phases of the internet. All right, and I want you to think about the internet that when the internet first started out, there still needed to be a whole lot of onboarding. Everybody did not know how to use the internet and what it could be used for. They didn't understand the scalability. They didn't understand what it would take to build the true infrastructure for it. It came years later, and slowly but surely, it's almost as if you cannot survive business wise today if you do not have integration in your business model. You need it. It creates efficiency. You can move with speed, and you can vertically grow, and you can horizontally grow. Right? You get the reach. So guess what, guys? There's parts of blockchain that needs to be integrated in all businesses, and it's got to come. And so part of what blockchain is going to do, it's going to revolutionize the world of business and how we do everyday things. Right now, we don't see it. Just like we back then, we didn't see it with the internet. We didn't know that banking. We didn't know that we would be trading in the market, utilizing the internet. We didn't know that we would be ordering books and uh, all kind of gadgets and things and all that stuff based off the internet. Okay. All right, another problem is that business faces understanding how to leverage NFT technology. Look, NFTs, they're going to be here. They're going to be huge. Think of somebody like Marvel. Once again, huge catalog. NFTs is going to be big with that. Okay. So, how do you utilize that in the most effective way? So, the chain reduces the issues through the integration of a development structure, with the platform helping in all stages of the NFT launch. All right, so they're solving a problem. They're helping companies onboarding. Think about somebody back in the day. Hey, let me help you build a marketing plan around the internet. Let me help you build out your social media presence. Let me help you understand marketing campaign when it comes to the internet. How you can get reach with your customers. All right, when you come to the website, are you capturing emails? All right. What is the funnel? All that stuff, the blockchain, got to do all over again. All right. One of the biggest problems faced with cloud computing users today is centralization. All right. Massive networks run by tech firms like Amazon, Google, Microsoft that dominate the sector. All right. They use their positioning to control futures and pricing to eliminate any competition before it gains momentum. All right, so Chain, which is Onyx Coin, provides a viable decentralized alternative to these large tech firms. It offers low fees and is more open to use by the international community. In this way, Onyx Coin, which is Chain, reduces centralization for anyone leveraging cloud computing. All right, so once again, lack of accessibility. They're talking about the highlights of why they building it. Right? Lack of scalability. Right? And here go some of the benefits. All right. Um, it operates as an industry leading web and blockchain cloud infrastructure provider. All right. Cloud is huge. You think about Amazon Web Services, majority of their revenue is based off of their web services. So if we look over here at the data with Amazon Web Services, all right, in the second quarter of 2024, that was at $26 billion just for the second quarter. All right. In 2024, net sales amounted to over $574 billion, up from $514 billion in the previous year. So Amazon Web Services, you got to think when you save your data and use the cloud, okay, well, it's not like it's sitting up in some cloud somewhere. It's literally on a server somewhere in the world. Well, where's these big databases? Who owns them? Who controls them? Right. So data is huge, right? And it costs. Okay. So when you, even if you have a website and all of a sudden, let's say you go viral and you're selling some t-shirts and all of a sudden a million customers come to your site, it's more than likely going to crash because you don't have the infrastructure to handle the bandwidth that comes to your site. And so, but you have to pay for some of these services to get the proper bandwidth, all the things that web services provide in the cloud network. But the average person, we don't have to worry about that. When you think of somebody like Facebook, all these billions of users on there, where's that data being held? Like I said, it's not some imaginary place. It has to be held on physical hardware somewhere in the world. So these are big databases. So Onyx Core is under the decentralized autonomous organizations. They're like DAOs, all right? And so when it's decentralized, it means that you're using unused hardware throughout the world that's participating in this network to where information can be saved, so it makes it cheaper. Okay. Think of, all right. So if you look at Uber and taxi was more of a centralization thing, and then Uber came around. It's somewhat decentralized, even though it has centralized elements of the whoever created the software and controlling the app and the company on the back end, right? But the network, you can just put out the signal. Oh, we got a vehicle a mile away that can come pick you up. All right, that's genius. These dials are some same thing. Oh, it's a computer across the street. They got space that you can save on. You can do that, right? So you're gonna see a lot of type of decentralizations in the big data game to help it for uh, small to mid-sized businesses. Is because the bigger they grow and the more data and the things that they need, in the protection realm, it's going to cost them. So Onyx Coin also helps with that as well too. All right. Um, so it's a lot. You got to go through the white paper, get a feel for it. I read through it, and once again, it's going to be a lot of scientific, technological terminology and stuff that's been used that could turn you off. Right? That's why I told you, use ChatGPT if you have to get a better understanding of it. Also, go on YouTube, look up, see some videos of people that break it down. They may do a better job than what I'm doing, even though you're going to watch this on YouTube as well. But you may find somebody that's much better. All right. But take a look at it. It's at 0.0022 of a cent. All right. We don't know whether this thing will get back to uh, 18 cent or whatnot. But hey, let's go look at some stuff. So we clearly see from when it first was launched, which when it launched basically in a bear market. So of course it got destroyed. So we really can't even really use this as a true market structure because you came in the market where everything was already bleeding and falling out of the sky. So, all right, it is what it is. But we do see that we did find a bottom down here. We rallied some. We moved about 554, 555%. We do look like we got a little cup and handle formation, that's forming, right here. And then, of course, we got the handle. And it still look like a cup and handle that's, forming again, right? Uh, so we can take the bottom of here up to cut neckline here, and we can make this a lot bigger. Stretch this out. All right. So based off where we are now, our first target is 0.005 of a cent. Second, 0.007, then 1 cent, and about 1.5 cent, so forth. Now, that's just based off this impulse. right here. But if we could find enough volume to get back up here to break where it started, all right, even though they say 10 cent and on the thing it said 18 cents. So this is based off Coinbase. But if we can get from here to back to 18 cent, you're talking about 8,000% gain. What is that? 80x for where it's at right now. All right, but I would prefer to keep it within range. Maybe 9 cent. Area, but once again, who knows? So you build out your your your, your strategies, your tier strategy. All right, you tier it. You leave some in the bank for mystery, but properly build it out. All right, so that's the best thing uh, you can do when it comes to that. Make sure y'all check out their Twitter account as well. You can follow. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and follow them now. I'm gonna add them to my list, my crypto list. All right, so I got my crypto list right here. So it will be added right here. I'm gonna hit save. All right. And so if you're new to this, I'm going to show you what a list looks like. So when you go on Twitter, all right, you know that if you follow a vast majority of people, things, it's just going to be all random on your timeline. But instead, you can create a list, right? And I can go to my list and I can look at everyone that's posting in real time. So, for instance, we're doing this video at 10:24 p.m. on the 19th of December, but right here, this was posted 19 minutes ago. So, everybody that I got 24 members on my list. So, these are various crypto projects that I've put in here. So, anybody from this list, if they post, I get it. I don't have to worry about no ESPN, no celebrity, one of my friends posting. No, that's on my main timeline. This one or this news feed, whatever you want to thread, you want to call it. These are the only ones that show up. All right, look at this. It was 23 minutes ago. So I follow Watch a Guru, but whatever they post is here and I can get it. So I can stay up to date. Right. This one's an hour ago. But as I go through, I can see and I can stay up to date. And it's just a quick, so at least a couple times a week, I come in here and just look and see what's going on. All right. And so this helps me out tremendously. So you see that I just added Onyx Coin. Now, to be transparent, I do own some Onyx Coin, but I'm not endorsing it for you to do it. You have to make your own decisions. You have to do your own research. You have to be accountable for whatever this asset can or could do. I don't know. All right. Just being transparent. All right. Listen. So if you're new to the channel, you can check out our website. You check out the crypto strategies bundle. We go over strategies here. You can have the greatest idea that you want to buy into these cryptos, but a lot of people fail because they don't have proper strategies. They don't have investment plan. They don't even know how the taxes work. It's so much to go into it. For instance, so many people buying crypto, but if something happens to them right now, do your family even know? Do they know your keys? All right, your keys? Do they your login? Can they get access to it? Do they know how to send and receive if something do happen to you? See, a lot of people don't think about it stuff, but in these strategies and bundle, that's stuff we go over, we talk about, right? What are some ways you know how to actually research? We talk about that. So, all right, that's that. Gotta hit the like button, subscribe, check out Onyx Coin. Um, it's on my radar. It's been on my radar. Um, yeah, check it out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all have a great night.